Okay, in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to add a location to GeoNames based on the latitude and longitude. So in this example, again, we are going to try to attempt to locate a location on the University of Utah campus. So I'm going to do a search here. I'm searching for the softball stadium, the Utah softball stadium. Okay, so first we always do a search to make sure that that pin doesn't exist. And looking at my results here, I am not seeing anything that matches what we're looking for. So instead of actually finding this on the map, so for example, let's say I didn't know this was on the University of Utah's campus and it could be anywhere in Utah, it would be difficult for me to start scanning the entire state. So one thing that's helpful is always to have Google Maps open, and from here we are going to do a search on the Utah softball and see what we get. Okay, and I'm going to switch over to Earth. So I think it's next to the McCarthy Fields, but I'm not quite sure. So in this instance, we might actually look to another resource. I've pulled up the University of Utah's map here, which of the main campus, which here I can see the McCarthy track and field over here. There it is, and then the Utah softball stadium is over here. So it looks like Google doesn't even have the Utah softball stadium labeled yet. But what is helpful about Google Maps is the ability to click on the map at any point, and then up on this pane right here, see how it lists the latitude and longitude? That's very helpful, so definitely always have Google Maps open if you are trying to locate an exact spot, because this feature is invaluable. So here lists our latitude and longitude, so I'm just going to leave this as is because I can see it right here, and then we're going to go back to GeoNames. So in this main portal here, because we know our Utah softball stadium is in the state of Utah, I'm going to do a search for just Utah, and a very crucial next step is not to click search, but we're going to click on show on map. Okay, and this will give us a different interface than what we typically see when we click on the other option, which is to search. So here you can see our two results are Utah and Nigeria and Yemen. Not exactly the Utah that we're looking for, but actually that's somewhat irrelevant because we are going to go over to this pane on the upper left-hand corner, and here we can hover over these icons underneath the map, and you see all these different options to go home, refresh, and insert new name. We're going to click on insert new name here. And we don't want to point the mouse to the location because we don't know where that is, but we do know the latitude and longitude. So we're going to click on this GPS, and here I see I have the option to add a latitude and a longitude. So I'm going to go back over to my Google Maps, and I am going to attempt to copy this. I think it's going to be a little bit tricky. Let's see here. Okay, well I've got my latitude in. Let's see if I can just isolate now the longitude. It's hard to break these up. Okay, so that looks right. Okay, so I'm going to click next. Please enter my coordinates with a decimal. Okay, it looks like this comma here is throwing things off. It was not needed, and I have a space there, so let's fix that. Okay, so now it looks like we are with that latitude and longitude now in the right space. And again, the pop-up for adding a new record box comes up. So we are going to add the Utah Okay, and now here again I want to select my class, but again as a shortcut I'm going to go over to my master list here and do a search on stadium. Okay, a structure. Okay, that looks good. Let's see what class that is in. And again, the spot building farm class, class S. So I'm going to go back over here, spot building farm, and then select. So this is a good example because as you can see how these are listed here, they're not listed alphabetically. So be sure to click on that sort by alphabetically. Otherwise it'll take a long time to go through this list and find the right one. Dun, 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 dun. Stadium, okay. And I don't know the elevation, I don't know any of this other information, so I'm just going to leave it blank. So I have clicked save. Let's see if I can do another search Utah. Okay, so there it brings up my record. It was added. Okay. I'm trying to see if I can move this around and get back to the other interface, which I like better. Let's go back to our home now. And I'm going to do a search on the Utah. Now I'm going to click search, not show on map. And there we are. There's our record. And it's back in this interface, which I find easier to use. And we zoom in, and there's our pin, and our identifier is right there.